Hi, Grace is back in the kitchen with me, and we're going to make a creation that we saw online and then kind of made our own, right, Grace? And Grace is a crafty girl. She loves making things. She wants to be my engineer, and so she's really good with things that require some skills with putting things together, as you saw from the no milk Hershey bar cake, the secret bar cake. So what we've done, we're going to make a salami roll, and these things are so delicious, and the different types of fillings and creativity you can get with them are pretty endless. So what we've done is we've taken 2 sheets of saran wrap, and that's on the bottom. So they're just side by side. They're on our glass top table. So it's saran wrap, and then we've topped it with saran wrap. And this is just a brick of 8 ounces of cream cheese. Grace is going to roll that out because what you want to do is flatten it. So she's going to roll it out, and when she gets it flat, we'll show you all the different steps. But we're going to coat one of the side with pieces of salami, and then we'll flip it over. Like I said, you need a little bit of a skill set here, but that's where the saran wrap is your friend. And then we're going to season it and put some yummy stuff in it, roll it up, and make a pinwheel that is so, so good. And this is one of the things, we've made this a couple times, and one time instead of using salami, we used pepperoni, and the pepperoni was really good too. And we used the really large slices of pepperoni. Now we're using salami, and the Boar's Head salami, thanks Grace, the Boar's Head salami brand is relatively clean, because people will ask me, well wait a minute, salami can have dextrose and that kind of thing. And this actually isn't so bad. It's 1 carb per serving, and a serving is 8 slices. So there are 2 carbs in this entire thing. So what Grace is trying to do now, you don't want to get it too thin, and so you have to be careful with that. And you want to get it fairly rectangular in shape. And so she's struggling with that a little bit. Yeah. Let's see if we can. Yeah, we'll just use our fingers to squish it up a bit, and yeah. And that's kind of when you've made this a time or two, you get better with it. But so you're gonna roll it this way, right?
No, I was thinking I'll roll it that way. But...
Okay, then we need to make it more uniform up at the top.
Yeah,
you sure you don't want to roll it that way?
All right, that works.
Okay, I think that rolling it long way is going to be better, because otherwise it's going to be really, really thick. So, and you can use, Grace is using a rolling pin. I'm just using my hand right now, and she's loving that. And you can use something fairly sharp like your nail. If I had a credit card in the kitchen, I'd be ordering too much from Amazon online, wouldn't I, Grace? But there we go. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because remember, you're going to roll it all up together. What do you think? You want to smooth that corner out? Did I do okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, babe. So once you get that done, what are we going to do? Just peel this off. Peel it off. And we tried this with parchment paper, and trust me, it does not work well with parchment paper. So we just peel that off. And then we take the salami, and this is important. And it's funny because I posted that we had done this, and then people were like, we need a video. So the important part is you want to overlap the salami. And so you can't, hang on, do you think I need to pull it down a bit? You want to, oh, there, that's what I'm thinking for that row. You want to overlap it pretty well. And remember, we're going to roll from the long side to the short side. And so you just lay it down. And these are big, pretty big slices of salami, fairly thin too. And that's part of why you want to overlap them. Do you want another row on there since that's peeking out? What do you think? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to let Grace do that. And basically she's going to lay them all out. Think that pack's going to be enough?
Nope.
No? Get the other pack. This is a different brand. That's all I had of the one. You're right. That's not going to be enough. And see, she's overlapping it pretty thick. Now that brand had 2 carbs in the entire pack, and there's some more. It's so hard not to pop a piece in my mouth. And this is a different brand, and this says that it has 1 carbohydrate per 4 slices. So if we're adding just 2 there, we're adding another carb or so in there, depending on what Grace does when she finishes it up. Okay. Now, do we want to make it, because it's not uniform, do we want to square it off, or you think we're okay?
I think we're good.
I don't know, Gracie. Mom's nervous. Let me do. I know, you're going to shoot me later. I just think that will roll up a whole lot easier.
All right.
So if you're going that way. Because you think? This little guy's getting away. Let's scooch him back in. You think? Okay. Now Grace is going to do the complicated part, which is the flipping over. And you want to use that again? Or you want a fresh piece of foil?
Use this again.
Okay. So we're going to reuse that, put it over the top. Let's hope this is better than when we flip a cake. All right. Ready? We have not done it on the glass, so that was our big. Okay. I just need to let go and let you do it, don't I? Yay! See how pretty that is? And now we peel the saran wrap. Oh, excuse me, and when the cream cheese gets warm, it doesn't want to peel quite as well. Let me get a spatula, Grace. And so you could take it and put it in the fridge for a second. Here you go, sweetheart. There, you're getting it. But yeah, when it gets warmer, and we've had this sitting out. Now it's wanting to stick to the bottom one.
Yep, I get it.
Yay. And it wouldn't go perfectly. If it did, you wouldn't trust us, right? That's what several folks have said. You want to scrape that off. Is that they really love it when we're in the kitchen because we just goof up and keep right on going. Right, Grace?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, if I mess up the cream cheese, Grace will get me, so I'm going to leave that alone. So now what we do, we have it flipped over, and we take seasoning salt. Or whatever seasonings you want to use. We are using Crazy Jane's seasoning salts, and we just sprinkle it over. Hang on, Grace, I opened it. Yeah, we don't make it too much. You can use Italian seasoning and garlic. Let's put a little more. That is really good stuff, so I don't think you can put, well, you can put too much, but you can be kind of generous with it. Yeah. And then we have some fresh jalapeno, and you're good. And the fresh, you're fine. And the fresh jalapeno was out of our garden, our little garden with 4 plants or so in it. And so I just chopped up the jalapeno and I seeded it. I just put the jalapeno all over. And do you think we need more jalapeno, Grace, or do you think that was enough?
I think it's enough.
Think it's enough? Okay, and we're using just fresh jalapeno. And I peeled a cucumber. Did you know that cucumbers have fewer carbs when you peel them? A lot of the carbs in the peeling. So I peeled it, and then I just have taken a veggie peeler, and I've been pulling off pieces of cucumber, and putting them on a paper towel. Now we do this to get some of the moisture out. And yeah, if you want to go ahead and do that. Gracie told me that she didn't think this one cucumber was going to be enough because we don't want to get down into the seeds. And I'm worried she's going to be right, and then she can say, I told you so. But anyway, so, and this has been, Grace planted a couple plants, and so this was off of her little garden. And what do you think, Grace? Should I do the other one real quick? Yeah. And you don't have to put them so thick. Let me do it really quickly. And what I do, like I said, I just peel them and to get more of the carbs out. And so we're just putting cucumber and jalapeno in ours. We really could put black olives. That would be yumminess. We could put some shredded cheese in there. We've got a lot of dairy with the cream cheese. We are using cream cheese. That's 1 carb per serving. And so I think we said we've got about 3 carbs in the whole thing in the salami. And we've got, I think it's a carb for the fresh jalapeno. And I don't remember on the cucumber, but I'm going to say probably fewer than 2. And we're cutting them thin. They just give a nice little flavor. And you're not putting too many of them.
And almost a little crunch too.
They do give it a nice crunch, kind of like sushi kind of thing.
It tastes really fresh.
And we talked about different flavorings that were seasonings we could put. So we may do another video, who knows, Gracie, with these in there. And you can see from the paper towel, you know, switch out. I'm just blotting it. See the moisture that's in there? I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of light from where the moisture was. We'll trade out. And I'll just keep going. Yeah. All right, you were right.
Need another cucumber?
No way. Yeah, I think that's enough. We don't have to put too much. Remember, cucumbers are fattening, right? Mm-hmm. Because of the carbs. It's hard to think of it like that. We like to take fresh cucumber and put it in some vinegar and water and peppercorns and a little sweetener and just have pickles at the table for supper, right? Mm-hmm. All right, I think that's going to be enough. And then, like I said, we're blotting out the moisture. Now, what we'll do, Grace is going to roll this up. Am I okay? I got to get in trouble for this. Grace is going to roll this up, and then we'll put it in the refrigerator, because what we found is that it slices far, far more easily if we let it rest in the fridge and let the cream cheese kind of set back up, let the flavors kind of chat with each other a bit. It would be really good, too, to put some dill on this. What do you think? Mm-hmm. You could put all kinds of flavors in here. Bell pepper, little bell pepper, although those are kind of carby. All right, I'm going to step back and let Grace do her magic on this, because I have a feeling I would goof it up.
So real quick, I'm going to explain while I'm rolling it from this part instead of from this part. So whenever you roll it, you kind of want it to stick together. So instead of rolling it from this side, I'm going to roll it from this side, so that if I were to roll it up from this side, then this salami part would kind of stick out and it wouldn't stick together as well as this.
Ah, so what she's saying is there's more cream cheese on the edge. And now she had talked about rolling it this way. If you think that'll do better, you do it, because you're better at this than I am. So you use your own best judgment. But I think what she's saying is there's more cream cheese on this end, so the cream cheese kind of acts like glue to hold it together. You think that's good?
You just kind of, this is hard. You want to stick it down and you want to roll it as tightly as you can. And you're just going to roll it up, and then you want to pull out the saran wrap
as you go, every little bit. So Grace is saying roll it pretty tight in the beginning, and then pull the saran wrap out as you go. And I want to help, but don't let me get in your way. Gosh, it looks so good. And Grace and I agree. It's so hard not to stick your finger in the salami and throw a bite or two in your mouth. It's really hard when you're doing it with pepperoni too, isn't it, Grace? Yum! And it doesn't have to be perfect. You're doing a great job. Yay! So that is the roll. And you know, we'll chop the ends off a bit to pretty it up, especially if we were serving it, but it makes a nice little pinwheel. So let's roll it up. We'll stick it in the fridge. We'll wrap it tightly, stick it in the fridge, and then we'll slice it after it's had a chance to sit for about 20 or 30 minutes or so. So our salami roll has been sitting up in the fridge, and Grace is going to do the unveiling of it, and we get to cut it. And my favorite part is I get to eat it. This has been something that was really good, kind of made up ahead of time. Grace, we had made one, and then we didn't eat it all. And then the next day she called me and said, "Mom, can I have the rest of it?" And I was at work, so there was nothing I could say.
Can I have some of it?
You can have a bite, Jonathan, sure. Grace is going to cut it.
No,
Oh, let Gracie cut it, sweetheart, since she had made it. You can try a bite?
And I'm going to cut this
end off
to make it look a little bit prettier.
Yeah, Grace said she's going to cut that end to make it prettier. And we found that it kind of gently saw. And if it falls apart, squish it together. Okay. And can you see? I can't see from here.
You can see a little bit of the
inside. And probably there you can see a little better, right? Yeah. Okay, I don't want to mess it up. And this is the kind of thing where I would be standing on the cucumber. We'll put that in the middle. I'll be standing on the edge to get a bite of this. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and try this bite while Grace is slicing up a few more.
So it's not as tight as you kind of want it, but that's a good thing of what it might look like.
They're really pretty, and they hold together pretty well. We could put this on a platter, put it back in the fridge. Grace has eaten them for lunch. We think this would be great in school lunches, right, Grace? And that one is really pretty. As you get toward the middle, they slice prettier. That is pretty. Let's see if I can hold that up so you can see. It really is pretty, and the jalapeno is really mild. And again, you could put pickles. We could have added some mayonnaise, but I don't think you want to. There are 8 grams of carbohydrates. I started down the path, and I don't think I finished it. 8 grams of carbohydrates in the cream cheese. There's about 4 grams of carbohydrates in the salami, 1 in the jalapeno, so we're up to 13. And I'm gonna count 2 for the cucumber, which is at 15. It's pretty easy to get, what, at least 4 servings out of this, you think, Grace, as far as lunches? And so 4 divided by 50, let's just round up to 16. You'd say 4 total carbs for the most part. I might have some pork rinds with it, which would be 0 carb. And yeah, there's no more than 4 carbs, probably closer to 3 carbs per serving in this. So I hope that if you make this with your family, that you enjoy it as much as we do.